Hold up, detecting glass resonance in your area? They're tough, but no glass is unbreakable, except unbreakable glass, like that bridge in China that you can hit with a sledgehammer. Not technically unbreakable before someone goes into detail in the comment section, but you get the idea. The Glassmaker episode of Nightwave is now over, and the 2-week wait for our intermission Nightwave is underway. But what did you think of Glassmaker, or how would you have liked to see it turn out in case something like this ever happens again in Warframe, or ever appears again? The season that was advertised or sold to us as a so-called Mordor mystery in space, the constant spawns of glassed up enemies, and of course the 8-month playtime before it eventually ended, which wasn't really helped of course by the current issues on the globe making everyone work from home. But even then, I think these night waves run for way too long, and the intermissions as well. Let me know in the comment section below, like I said, what you think. Honestly, I prefer never to experience a night wave like this again. Please don't bring these glass holes back for a future intermission. I don't want to see them. If I hear Nora saying hold up, I'm going to hold up, alright, by logging out. Now, Glassmaker suffered from a lot of annoying features, but also some of the lore was enjoyable, and the boss fight at the end was entertaining for some players. It's a guaranteed way, of course, to farm Nightthane, which I know a lot of new players really need a lot of. There is Umbral Forma, there is Normal Forma, there is Weapon and Warframe slots, which are easily some of the better rewards from Nightwave, and the slots are something that every new player needs to get their hands on. So it has got its bonuses, and it's great for a large group of players. But the Mordor mystery element of this season of Nightwave lost its appeal for me right after week 1. For me, the idea of a Mordor mystery, and I know I'm saying Mordor and it sounds to use like I'm talking about Sauron, but that's not the case. I mean Mordor as in stabby stabby. Now, for me, the idea of a Mordor mystery, I think of Knives Out the movie, or Mordor on the Orient Express, where the killer is revealed right near the end for that added wow factor. It's also set around a large group of relevant, totally relevant suspects, along with some notable or even prominent victims, not some mysterious figure and a bunch of randoms who are killed for one reason or another. Imagine if one of those victims had have been, say, the Sergeant. A victim like that would have given it a bit more relevancy, would have also allowed them in a way to I guess, kind of rework Sergeant, but never mind. This Nightwave felt more like a serial killer than anything else, a big baldy nutjob with a huge glassed up sword. Now, the first victim was a random old Ostron dude who was glassed over, no real explanation. Then it was a corpus that got glassed over, and by Act 3 of this season out of the 5, we already knew it was Nihil, and we had 2 acts still left to run. So the Mordor mystery element was gone, and now it was just about putting the clues together, getting through the final 2 acts before getting that big boss battle. It might have been better having Nihil be revealed right at the end. Do you know what I mean? Something like that would have had a better wow factor. But another big issue for a lot of players when running through this season of Nightwave was, of course, finding those clues. The tile sets that were designed for this, for the investigations, would cause some of the clues to be hidden underneath objects because that is where they would spawn in, or they would blend right in with the background because they were the exact same colour, making them almost impossible to find. On Act 4 or Act 5 of this season, I know some players spent upwards on an hour of playtime just searching for one final clue. A clue that eventually was hidden inside an object because of bad design, because that's where it spawned even though it wasn't supposed to. Or a tiny little clue that was very hard to see, and that's before you take colourblind players into account, who on some tile sets had everything just melding in together because it was all the same kind of bland tone of colour. As mentioned by a lot of players, adding a simple sound effect as you got closer to that clue would have helped in a huge way, a resonating, vibrating sound that increased in intensity as you got closer to the clue. But I guess all of that is a little bit beside the point right now, but it would be nice if something like this ever happens again to add that little bit of a sound effect, or make sure the clues show up where they can actually be seen. Now, random enemies being glassed in your missions made no damn sense to a lot of players. Why was that infested drone just glassed? What did it do? Why is Nihil now randomly glassing things to attack me with? I thought he was the judge, jury and executioner with a motive for glassing his targets, not just picking them at random. Glassing enemies would also put them in a state of alertness, aggressive, so it made running Stealth Exterminate absolutely annoying. If you were leveling something by using this method, which is exactly how I leveled almost everything in game, then your stealth multiplier would almost certainly be broken at some point throughout the mission by enemies that got glassed over by a glass rift, because they would show up like, hello, we play now, we play, and then just run towards you, and then your stealth multiplier would be gone. Now, the last intermission in Warframe lasted 7 months. 7 months, that's 1 month shorter than Glassmaker, okay, think about that. And we're about to get our next intermission in about a week and a half's time. So the duration of these Nightwaves and their intermissions has definitely been increasing. Hopefully the next intermission isn't a 7 or 8 month venture, but something's telling me it will be, simply because, I guess, of the state of the world right now and all of these developers having to work from home. But let me know what you think of Nightwaves, the intermissions, and what you thought in particular about Glassmaker, whether you enjoyed it or didn't, in the comment section below. And as always, have a good day and thanks for watching.